was like the weakest high five ever. It was like, I'm not even going to high five you. I'm just going to give you.
I gave you 2 fingers.
I'm going to give you 2 fingers like I did that girl last night. I'm just kidding.
Wow.
Right,
coming in hot.
Coming in hot. Dude, I'm so tired. I am beat up. What's up, man?
Oh, I hate people.
Welcome to
Beauty and Brian.
Hello. Why do you hate people?
Bro,
let's start out hot.
You're asking the wrong guy the wrong
hot.
question at the wrong time.
Let's start out hot. Why, Justin, do you hate people?
A myriad of reasons, and I don't hate people. People piss me off, and there's a myriad of reasons why they piss me off. Mm-hmm. I feel like everybody should do exactly what I fucking do. You shouldn't deviate. I'm such a narcissist in that regard. But I promise you, like, I really don't feel this harshly about it, but I really
sounds like you do.
I really do. I really have a problem with punk kids, and I have a problem with, and I know they're growing up. I know I used to be a punk kid. I know that they're experiencing things that I'm watching them experience punk kidness in real time.
And you just want to go up behind them and just.
And I just want to go up and behind them and say, bro, this is not the path. You look like a fucking idiot. You're operating like an idiot. You're probably weak, undisciplined. All of it, dude. It just. If there's one thing that irritates me about people, and this is on some real shit, it's weakness. It's just weakness. I love the fact that people are going to the gym working out. Love it, dude. But if you're still fat after a fucking year, you haven't changed, and you're a man, you're weak. You're a weak man. Clearly, you don't have any discipline to stop certain foods from coming into your mouth. That's a problem. Because if you're weak in this area, you're weak in other areas. And this is not me fat shaming. This is me discipline shaming. You don't have discipline.
Yeah.
And that's a problem to me, dude. Like, I scout the gym, as all of us do. And I just analyze what's going on around me, my environment. And it's just like, if I have seen you multiple times for multiple months, if not a year, and you're got 0 changes, and it's not because you're tapped out muscularly, you can't gain anymore, and you still got a spare tire jack, that's a problem. You're a weak man, and you can't be of utility for not only your family, your woman, but the fucking society around you. What utility are you going to be? Chances are they're gamers. I'm just saying it, bro. Chances are they're gamers. You're the one-off that's a fucking in-shape gamer. I know a lot of gamers on YouTube. Yeah. I don't know them. I have seen them. They're fucking 0 in shape, dude. They don't care about their fucking weight, their body, etc. Now, I'm not saying that there are exceptions to the rules. There are. Like, you're one. Yep. But the majority of what I see are just... They have no type of self-drive discipline apart from playing games.
So let me ask you this. Why do you think that they go to the gym then? If they're not seeing any results and they're not seeing it, or they're not, why do you think that they're going?
I think that, well, I mean, it could be a myriad of things too. I think it could be if they've now just adopted this in their routine, it's something that they do, but they're not willing to make the sacrifices outside of the gym. It's one thing to exercise, it's fine, It's good exercise, but you got to also eat right too. And I'm not saying we're trying to get you shredded, 6-pack abs, obliques, serratus. I'm not saying that. I am saying though, get rid of the spare tire, bro. Because that's not a good look. It's not a good look, and it's not healthy, period. And if you got a spare tire that I can see that your shirt can't even cover, then that's a fucking problem.
The shirt that like has the gap between.
Yes, and it's funny.
I used to be that guy.
It's funny, but it's not funny because there's clearly an issue with you.
Correct.
And it's like, I think to myself, what are you doing? What are you doing, dude? Maybe you have, and look, maybe I'm the wrong one here. Maybe I need to do what this guy's doing. Maybe he's making lots of money. Maybe he's making more money than I'm making. Maybe he's got a whole different, maybe he's got a more progressive mindset than I do. Progressive, not in terms of liberal. I'm saying that progressive, like productive.
Of course.
I don't know. I would be willing to bet not, but I'm just saying, like, maybe, dude, maybe I'm the wrong guy here. But I can't, if one thing's for sure, I know that you're not as healthy as me. And I know that you're not as healthy as you could be. It's not a competition with me. It's this thing of, you're not healthy within yourself. And if you are not healthy and it's showcasing in your physique, then I know you're unhealthy in your habits. You're unhealthy in your behaviors. You have zero or next to zero discipline for this thing. You may have discipline in the regards of showing up. I give that to you. You show up quite often. And if you know, I'm talking about like one in particular here. Like I'm zeroing on one particular guy.
Yeah, I was like, he's probably talking about one human being right now.
And it's just, and I, if you're gonna put this effort into the gym, even though you don't train that hard anyway. But if you're gonna put the effort in, you're gonna come here, and then you're gonna go home and just go back to your routine behaviors of eating. Then you're not gonna make any progression. So unless it's like strength derived, you might make some strength gains here in the gym without changing your diet. But I would argue that's not why you're probably coming to the gym. You're probably coming to the gym because you know you need to exercise, because you know you need to lose a little weight.
Yeah.
Period. So then I think it's not voting in your favor by operating this way. And I get more on the men for this. I don't give a shit about women. I give a shit about women. Don't take that wrong. I don't care if women are like, I'm not trying to say like, oh, overweight woman is trying to get in shape. And if you're not changing, my focus is not on the woman here, dude. Like my focus is on the men, because men need to be stronger, not only for their families, for society, but for women in general too. They need to be strong for their women. And if you're showcasing that you can't get rid of your spare fluff, that to me showcases a weakness. And that to me is not a good thing to adopt as a man. I don't care if women have that weakness. I don't care. I really don't care if women are overweight or not, or in shape or whatever. Like, that's not what I'm focusing on. I'm focusing on the men here. And I really think that men need to pay more attention to their physiques, because it showcases everything of if they have discipline or not. But apart from what is promulgated nowadays, dad bod it, fuck that. Women don't want dad bods. That's bullshit. Women aren't trying to get a fucking paper thin shredded guy either. I'm just saying that women want something that they can look at and be like, you're a fucking winner, dude. Yeah, you're a winner. And I don't think any dad bod would be classified as a winner. Just saying. That's just me though, man. I spit all over the fucking microphone.
You just went on a complete rant, which was awesome, and I agree. Because I know when I was 61 pounds heavier, I was not in good health, good state of mind, good anything. Like, it hurt to walk around, you know? And now, like, I feel fantastic. I'm tired right now because just my food's been cut, but like I'm a little tired, but other than that, like I feel fine. You know, I feel great.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna get that way.
And it's insane because somebody said to me this weekend when I was at a show, somebody looked at me and they were like, "Dude, you're TV ready right now. Like you're TV ready." And I was thinking to myself, because that's funny how you brought this up, right? Because I was thinking about this in my mind, right? And this was on me as well, right? So this is me as well. Is if you're not striving to be on television and have that television looking body of, you know, that action figure, that sex symbol, that something that a company that invests money into that is going to get that out of you 3 times more, why the fuck are you even in the business, right? And I thought about that. When he literally was like, dude, you're fucking TV ready right now. Like, fucking look at you, dude. You're fucking shredded, right? And I was saying to myself, I'm like, I was on TV and I wasn't shredded. And then I saw my boss like a week and a half ago, my old boss. And he goes, man, if you look like that while you're on TV, where you look now, fuck. You know? And it's like, if you're not striving to do that, then what the fuck are you doing in the wrestling business? Oh, just for a fucking hobby? Oh, I want to go and beat my body up for a fucking hobby? Fuck no. Mm-hmm. Fuck no.
There's a meaningful intent behind it.
Yeah. Yeah. And that was just kind of interesting that somebody said, like, dude, you're fucking TV ready right now. Like, look at you. You're fucking shred. Like, you look great. And I'm like, thanks, man. And then, like, more people have noticed me. More people have, reached out. I'm getting busier. It's like, everything has started falling into place now since I'm 61 pounds lighter. No one was looking at me when I was 60 pounds heavier. No one gave a fuck. Everyone's like, oh, he's just a fat fuck. Look at him. And now I'm busier than ever, so yeah, I kind of understand what I agree with what you're saying, and I think America has made it to the point of where people are supposed to be just accepted the way that they're brought into this world and the way that they are and all this other fun stuff, right? And I totally disagree with that because everybody can change. Everybody can go towards their goals. Everybody can do whatever the fuck they want if they're willing to put the hard work in and the desire in, but a lot of people aren't willing to put the fucking hard work in to get to where they want to go. So yeah, I agree with you 100%. Yeah.
Yeah, well,
that was a long way around to getting to that.
Right.
Yeah.
That brings me to the question, do you think it's about hard work or do you think it's about staying consistent for years on end?
I think it's about both.
Yeah, but what
Shout out LaCroix.
What is going to be what defines hard work, man? Because what you do and what other, like, okay, so for example, the richest men in the world are not hard workers, bro. I mean, the hardest workers are the people in the fields, people doing laborious work.
True.
And they're never rich. So it's not really about hard work. It's about how long can you put up with the frustrating element that you're not going to make it until something that you do hits. And it might be years from now. It might be a decade from now. Are you willing to keep doing this thing for that long with, I say it all the time, are you willing to keep doing this thing for that long with zero ROI?
Zero return investment, yeah.
So the thing is that it's not, because I would argue that, bro, let's play this scenario out.
Okay.
Let's say your podcast or my podcast or this podcast gets a deal with Spotify for $50 million a year. Let's say, do you think that's been predicated on hard work? Because hard work is seemingly, to most people, is coined as laborious, labor intensive, okay? This is not labor intensive. This is doing something that you love and or really like and that you have a passion for, that you know you're good at, and continuously doing it with zero return on investment continuously for years and years and years. That's not hard work. That's just being consistent.
Consistency is key.
Whatever. So the point is, well, the reason
I was agreeing with you.
No, I know. I just hate that platitude.
Oh, okay.
Because it's just fucking overplayed. But it's like, I'm also a contrarian to some degree in most things, so that's the reason why I say that. But
fuck everybody.
I don't think it's about hard work, because the hardest workers are not rich, and it's not about being rich. I'm saying they're not even that fruitful, the ones that are the hardest workers. And that's where I come to the final realization that it's about how long can you last. That's really what it's about. How long can you last? Can you outlast your competition? Can you outlast the people around you that may be climbing when you're at idle? Can you outlast? Do you have the guts to outlast? Do you have the tenacity to outlast? Do you have the perseverance to outlast when zero ROI is on the table? Do you? That's what it's about. And then in the meantime, to cover your bills, you do the shit that you don't really like. And that's all in place with discipline as well. So it's, when people say hard work, I know what you're meaning. I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah.
But when you break it down into its, bare bones, it's not really hard work. It's how long can you last without breaking? Because we all have breaking points.
We all have breaking points.
And sometimes you get right to that breaking point and you're like, you just want to throw your hands up. Fuck it. But something in you can't walk away from it. And you keep doing it, and you do it another day and another day. And before you know it, another day turns into another month. And another month turns into another year. And then you've got another year under the belt with whatever it is in terms of effort you're pursuing in your venture. And then that adds to the pile, adds to the archive. And then if you keep doing that long enough, one thing, not a multitude of things, one thing. If you zero in on one thing and put all your effort into that, I don't care if people are saying, well, why don't you just start up a Shopify account? You can make an extra 10 grand a month. Blah, blah, blah. Nope, don't want to do it. Well, why don't you do this? You could have another side hustle over here. You make another 5 grand a month. Nope, I'm not interested. This is what I'm doing. I'm doing this. This is what all my eggs are going into this basket. All my effort, all my energy going into this basket. I don't care what side hustle that might make me a little bit more money per month, whatever. No, because then that's extracting resources from what I really want to do and the things I really want to put my energy into, which is this. Go all into one thing and do it for years. That's what I'm saying. And I think that's what you're saying too. It's evident. You've been pro wrestling since before 15, right? Before 2015, you turned pro in 15.
Oh, yeah.
So you've been wrestling for largely a decade, correct?
Yeah, actually thinking about it, yes.
So if somebody were to come to you and say, hey, Sledge, how do I become a pro wrestler? I want to be where you're at. What would you tell them?
First off, I would tell them to find a good wrestling school because you have to go to school to become a professional wrestler, whether you believe it or not. And let them know that you're going to not make any money. I tell people that all the time. You're not going to make any money. You're not. For the first, unless you become an indie darling overnight, right? Off of doing the coolest fucking move.
What's an indie darling?
Indie darling means you got popular on the internet really quick because you did something fucking stupid.
Uh-huh.
And
like you went viral.
Yeah, you went viral. So a lot of these guys sometimes become indie darlings because they went viral on Twitter or Instagram or whatever it is. And people are like, oh, that's a really cool move. I want to see that on my show. But it's like, you do a really, really fucking cool move, right? How do you top that? You really can't, right? And if it's so fucking dangerous, your body can only do it so many fucking times, right? So, and I tell people that all the time. I said, you're going to fucking have sleepless nights. You're going to not have any fucking money. You're not going to be able to fucking eat. You're not going to be like, it's a grind. It's a fucking grind. If that's what you really want. And I tell people all the time, they always ask me, well, how can I get more bookings? How do I get more bookings, right? And I tell them all the time, do you have kids? No. You married? No. You have a car? Yeah. Get in it. Go. How bad do you want it? Are you willing to sleep in your car? Are you willing to show up to an event and just be like, hey, I'm here to set up the ring. I'm here to help set up the show. And if a spot opens, I would love to show you what I can do for no money. But drive, I don't know, 15, 16 hours? Are you willing to do that? A lot of people aren't. Because people say, it was funny because I just had this conversation. On Monday. People say they want it so bad, but when it comes down to it, they fucking don't. Because they're not willing to put the time and the effort into getting to where I am, let alone even trying to surpass me. Because I'm not comfortable where I'm at. I'm trying to go higher. So I'm still grinding. I'm still doing whatever I need to do to get to the level that I was at, if not higher than where I'm at, you know? And I tell people that all the time, man, it took me 10 years to get signed. 10 years of grinding, and honestly, I became an indie darling because I did the Steve Austin podcast, and then that launched me.
What happened after that podcast exactly?
Bookings started coming in left and right, and people started flying me places, and then wanted me
through emails. It just comes through emails,
through like Facebook, emails, Twitter, Instagram.
They would say, "I saw you on Steve Austin," or "I heard you on
Steve Austin's podcast, and I would love you to come out."
Was there anything in particular that you said on that podcast that stood out to them? Is the reason why they reach out to you?
I don't believe so. I think it was just I was on Steve Austin's podcast, and it was Steve Austin's podcast was like booming at the time.
What caused it to happen?
Right place, right time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was traveling with a buddy who did the 2K18 game, 2K19 game, and he was coming and he was on Tough Enough with Steve Austin.
Yeah.
So he got invited to Steve Austin's house to do the podcast with Steve. And I was traveling with him that weekend, and he asked Steve if I could tag along. And then me and Steve started talking off air, and he realized I had a little bit of a story and, struggling with addiction, so on and so forth. And he's like, let's pod. Let me put you on a podcast, And then I was on a little bit of AJ's podcast, and then my podcast came out like 2 weeks later. And Steve texted me, he was like, hey, your podcast drops this day. And then next thing you know, within hours, my phone just...
Really?
Yeah, within hours.
That's crazy.
Within hours, it got released, and my phone was just like, hey, we want to book you. Hey, we want to book you. Hey,
No shit, man.
And then, but then still, it was still a grind. It really was. It was still a grind because where we live doesn't really have like a central location to fly out of, right? SLO Airport's pretty expensive to fly out of. So I would drive to LA to catch a 6 a.m. flight. I would leave at like 2 in the morning and catch a 6 a.m. flight to LA out of Burbank or LAX or sometimes San Jose to save the promoter money because they were bringing me out on their dime. So it was still a grind. There was still money coming out of my pocket. You know what I'm saying? But they would cover it on the kind of the back end and on merchandise and so on and so forth. So it kind of worked out.
Yeah, but it's one of those things where it doesn't really, I bet you didn't even think about it because it's something that you could be potentially put on. You could potentially get put on if you have a favorable outcome on this show or doing this thing that you drive all this time for.
Yeah.
It's like, it doesn't matter. Like it's because it's what it is it's fulfilling to you because it's leading you into the possibility there might be potential good outcome with this.
Absolutely.
And if there's not, it doesn't matter because the excitement and the anticipation is also very fulfilling too, with the possible potential outcome that could be favorable. So it's like, it's a win across the board, even if nothing happens. Because who else can say that that's happening to them amongst your friends?
Of course.
You know what I mean?
Of course. When people go, well, where are you going this weekend? It's like I get to travel the world, and I get to travel to different states. I'm in sometimes 3 different states in a weekend. No one gets to say that. No one goes, oh, I was just, people are like, oh, what'd you do over the weekend? Oh, I don't know. I just kind of hung out and just kind of, watch football or whatever it was. What'd you do? Oh, I flew to Denver, then I flew to Texas, then I flew to Louisiana, then I flew home. They're like, the fuck? Yeah, I was in 3 different time zones. I'm tired as fuck, but it's cool. On somebody else's dime. I get to travel places on somebody else's dime, and it's fucking really, really cool. And it's something I definitely don't take for granted. It's definitely, and it's getting busier, which is crazier. It's getting, I have bookings all the way out to July, and that's insane.
But it wouldn't have happened if
I didn't change
you had
my
given up in 2017 or 2018.
Which I almost did. Yeah, absolutely. I almost did, especially when I thought my wrestling career was over with my alcohol and stuff like that with my addiction. And I did something really fucking stupid. And I got in the ring intoxicated. And completely just blitzed out of my mind. I got in the ring and then I tried to fight the promoter and it got spread all over the internet. Thank you, internet. And was sent to over 100 and something promoters saying never to book me again and so on and so forth. I thought my career was over. I thought I was done. And when I got sober, people I kind of backed away a little bit, but people started seeing that I was getting sober and kind of doing my own thing and stuff like that. And I had a pretty cush job, dude. I worked for Chartered. I had a cush job. I was making good money, but I wasn't fulfilled. I was miserable. I wanted to wrestle, so I got back out there and started doing the thing. And then next thing you know, it was the Austin thing. And then, I did Impact, I did a stint on Impact, and then I got signed with Ring of Honor. And then here I am today, and I want to say that me getting sober and that actually coming out and people coming out, saying that I'll never book him and all this other shit, really, I don't want to say it helped me but it did because it helped me get sober and helped pull my head out of my ass to a point. Does that make sense? So, because I believe that I probably wouldn't have gotten sober if that shit didn't happen. And I was going through a lot of stuff like at home too, like marriage was going down and shit like that, and it was just there was a lot of shit that led to my alcoholism and my pain pills. So, but that's all excuses, you know.
Yeah.
That's all excuses. That's all bullshit. That's all excuses shit, you know. I'm almost 8.5 years clean and sober now, so it's like it's cool. So.
Yeah, man. A lot of people don't have that capability, and that's kind of. I mean, it's not just shitty, but it almost is, I can't think of the word, but it's not a good thing, and especially when it comes to men, because you don't understand, like, there's so many things that rely on men to do nowadays, and if they're constantly getting weaker and weaker, then, and this is my problem, this is my issue, when I see it in the gym or when I see it outside, I mean,
catch me outside, how about that?
It's like, it's one of those things where even if you put in, you go to work every day, you do your thing, and this, that, and the third, it's like, that's commendable. But what if you're, I guess my argument is towards the men that are trying to make something happen through their phone or the internet or something like that, and putting a lot of effort into that, and then on top of that, not doing what it takes to become better physically and mentally, because there's a strong connection between how you operate physically and how you operate mentally. I mean, you probably can attest to this. When you got in the gym, you started dieting, it made you stronger mentally, because you have to exercise resources, your mental faculties rather, to stay in the loop in regards to getting leaner and following the program. It's because this is not an easy thing, even though people see it as a beauty pageant when you're on stage. That's fine. You can see it as a beauty pageant on stage, but the preliminary, everything that happens before that is not a beauty pageant. It is very, it can wipe out the strongest of mental strength men. Like, that didn't make any sense, but you go on a point. I'm saying.
It did. Yeah.
The point is that getting up to that point where you're showing your body is a fruity thing to do. It is what it is. It's a beauty pageant for men. But the arduous process that's affiliated with that beforehand is very, very, very tough. It's not something that a weak man can it's not something that a weak man can conquer. It just can't. So when I see men that, and I guess dumb me, I think every man has it in him, dude. I guess I give men the benefit that I think you have it in you to be this way. Why are you this other way? But maybe that's not true. Maybe every man doesn't have it in him to be that way. And that's the reason why they are where they are, and that's the reason why they're in the predicament that they're in, or in the stage of in that specific. That's why they're at the stage that they're in life. It's like, maybe they don't have the fucking willpower. Maybe they don't have the discipline. Maybe they don't have the mental strength. Maybe they're not cut out from that cloth. Maybe not. And I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt and saying, no, you are. But maybe they're not.
Not everybody is. You know, not everybody is mentally is as strong as, well, like you or I, you know. It's just, you have to build that, you have to build the strength. You weren't, I don't know if you've always been mentally strong. I know I haven't always been mentally strong, but I've had to learn to be mentally strong. You know, I have had to learn, and I say it, you know, my new shirt coming out, you know, change your mindset, change your life. It's true. You know, you change your mindset, you can change your life. You can do anything you want. And I tell people that all the time. I've had a number of people reach out to me. How'd you do it? How'd you do it? How'd you do it? And I say it all the fucking time. I changed my mindset. I got tired of living away, the certain way I was. I got tired of being a fat fuck. I got tired of carrying around extra weight. I got tired of being tired all the time. Now I'm tired right now, like I said, because, you know, I'm in prep, but like it's a different kind of tired. You know, like I'm more of like more of a fatigued kind of tired, you know. And I had that today, and it's funny, I had that today because I wake up early and I train, and I could not get my wheels underneath me this morning. Couldn't get my wheels underneath me this morning. And you've probably had that where like you're depleted and you just don't feel like training. You're just like, fuck, I could just go back to bed, or I could do whatever the fuck whatever. But I was like, nope, you're here. Let's get it. Let's go. I had to like mentally prep myself to get going. And finally at the end of my workout, I was like, I feel better. I feel good. You know, so I'm hungry as fuck, but I'm good. You know. But I don't know if you ever had that where you're just like, man, I just don't feel like fucking training today.
I don't know, dude. I don't. There's always been a level of anticipation leading up into every training session.
Yeah.
No matter what stage of life I'm in, with whether it's prep, when I was in prep 10 years ago for a bodybuilding show, more than 10 years ago. I haven't competed in fucking like 12 years. Last show was in 2011. And you know, I always anticipate the gym. I always get a good anxiety over a good anxious feeling over the gym when I train.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, man. I don't know where that feeling of good comes from after you train, because I don't feel that way. I feel fucked. Every time I get in a train, I feel fucked. I could train chest and show, I feel fucked. I could train arms. I feel fucked afterwards, because
define fucked, like,
because
as in,
it's
like,
war on myself. I'm at war
Yeah.
with myself when I train.
Yeah.
I've told you that multiple times, and that is because I'm just a sick fuck with obsessive personality traits when it comes to training. Nobody will fuck unless you watch me intently with all my training. You won't see that, but the average person takes a glimpse at me training, but he's working out. Maybe he's working out hard, but they don't fucking understand what's going on in my mind. Every single repetition of every single set, it doesn't matter what I'm doing. It doesn't matter if I'm doing a cable push down or if I'm doing fucking squats or a deadlift. Doesn't fucking matter. It's war. That's all I can define it as. And I'm not saying that's a good place to be. Don't be in that fucking arena,
Yeah,
okay?
right.
But I don't know the feeling of feeling good after I'm done training. Do I feel pumped up? Yeah. That's it. That's the only thing I pull from that's good, could be labeled good from that workout. Is like, I feel pumped up. But then that dissipates after a couple hours.
I just go last set, best set. Let's go. Let's get it.
Dude, every set is my best fucking set, which is the problem. Because every set and every rep is the best rep, the best set. It's like the last fucking rep of my life, the last set of my life. And I don't like operating that way. Unless it's a warm-up set. But apart from that, if it's a work set, every set is that way. And that's not a good place to be, man, because it's draining centrally and it's draining systemically. It's not, I'm not advocating that shit, dude. I don't know why I'm that way. I'm just that way, and but I don't fucking like it, bro. I don't like it. But I can't absolve myself from it, at least yet.
I was like, I wish I could say that, like, there could be something like I could help you with to help you do, like, calm your ass down, but I don't think there is. So,
no, dude, you can't help me, dude.
No.
There's psychologists couldn't even help me, bro. But I think that, ironically enough, I think this is going to be the thing that I have that's going to carry me.
Yeah.
Unless, even though I hate it and it's like an enemy to me. Because no one wants to be at war with themselves. And you're at war with yourself because you don't think you're good enough. That's the real reason. That's the substratum level. That is the reason why I'm at war with myself, because I'm not okay with myself. I don't think I'm good enough yet. So that's the reason why I wage war on myself through the means of training. Because what else am I going to do it on? So, my job as a fitness trainer is people oriented. It has nothing to do with me. It's everything to do with them in that moment. So this is where I wage war on myself. And again, it's because I don't feel like I'm good enough yet. But this, ironically, I think, is the only attribute that I have that can carry me to the levels of stardom that I know that I'm capable of achieving.
Yeah. I don't have anything. I'm just letting
Why?
you go.
Why don't
Just
you have
letting
anything?
I'm just
for
letting
that?
you
I
go.
just poured
I'm
my
just
heart out to you.
I know.
fucker.
And I'm here for you, bro. Like, I'm fucking here for you.
Do you want to? Well, look. Since you don't have nothing to say on that shit, let me give you some context behind my cheat meal this weekend because I know you didn't probably have one.
I did actually. I had a refeed.
You did?
I did have a refeed. So I saw my coach on.
What was your refeed, Sledge?
My coach saw me on Saturday. He came to the show on Saturday, and he came backstage, and we did some posing.
I'm sitting this way, by the way, because I have to pee again, but I'll get rid of it. It'll be fine.
This guy's peed 4 times since he's been here.
Go on.
Anyway, and he's like, he liked where I'm at weight wise because I have to hit 220, and I was like 232. So he's like, you're cutting a little. We're cutting a little too like. He's like, get a refeed in. So he's like, go to In-N-Out. He's like, what do you want? And I was like, man, In-N-Out sounds bomb. He's like, it's usually my go-to too. He goes, go In-N-Out. He goes, get 2 double doubles, no cheese, and a fry. And I'm like, say less.
Okay, why no cheese?
I don't know. I didn't ask. And I said,
Must be something to do with lactose.
And I said, say less. I said, say less.
Because.
And then he goes, and then tomorrow, he goes, I don't want you to do any carbs except for your breakfast. And I go, okay. And he goes, at night, go have 3 sushi rolls. I said, say less. So I went, and I actually technically had 2 refeeds, and I was only up 5 pounds. But then now I'm down again, obviously. And we're going to take a look at things on Friday. And you're fucking that
Don't
up.
worry about what I do with the mic. It's my mic when I'm here.
We're going to see everything on Friday. And if weight's down, I'm almost positive I'll probably gonna be around 232, 231. He'll probably give me another refeed. And then, we're almost 9 weeks out. And my weight's good. Things are cutting. Things are feeling good. I'm just... my carbs are a little low. He upped my asparagus. He's like, you're not eating enough asparagus. He asked me. He's like, well, how much veggies are you eating? And I'm like, I don't weigh out my veggies. I'm just kind of, put them in. And he's like, you're holding a lot of water. He's like, you're holding some water. So he's like, upped my asparagus to like 4 ounces. And I'm, man, that's a lot of asparagus, which I love. I'm totally okay with. But asparagus is pretty fucking expensive. If you guys don't know, being a bodybuilder is fucking expensive, guys. It's not cheap. Okay?
Yeah.
It's not
Could
cheap.
be if you eat like fish and asparagus and rice. I mean,
asparagus
or
is like
potatoes.
That's what I eat.
Yeah. Well, just if money's an issue, once you talk to him and say, look, man, these protein sources are a little bit too hefty in price for me at the moment. These veggies are a little too hefty in price for me at the moment. Let's just do a different cruciferous vegetable, like, I don't know, broccoli, and then let's do rice and let's do chicken. And it's boring as fuck, but you're not eating for taste. You're eating for results. So it doesn't really matter at the end of the day.
I don't give a fuck. I still do it. But I'm just saying. You know? Yeah, well, asparagus is pretty fucking...
It is.
It's getting pretty expensive.
Yeah.
It's like $5-6 for fucking a thick asparagus.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then other than that, yeah, man. So I, just doing that. So what was your big old cheat meal there, Mr. P Pants?
Man, I just forgot. I remember the sweet part.
Come on.
Wait. Oh, no, I remember.
Come on.
I went to Giuseppe's. That's right. I went to Giuseppe's.
You always go to
Italian. No, I went to the last.
That's right. You always go to the other place, Jocko's.
Yeah.
That's right.
Jocko's isn't my spot, man. But I went to Giuseppe's and I didn't really have a lot of food there. I had a pizza. The salsiccia pizza is what I like, which is basically sausage and I think it's mushroom and onion, or sausage and onion and red sauce, and then I put pepperoni on it. And then I had a ravioli dish, and then I had and anybody who is local to this area and listens to this podcast knows Giuseppe's, knows that the dip has cocaine in it, and it's very, very addictive. It's highly addictive, man. And
fuck yeah, it is.
I have just for context, so they give you like bread and the dip and everything, but the saucer of dip is nothing for me, at least. I like to ladle on the dip on my bread and then fold the bread and then eat it. Like just I don't like to spread it on nice and thin and then just eat it. You know, I like toast or something. I fucking fold the motherfucker and then I put it in my mouth with the soup amount of dip in the center. And so I do one saucer of dip for 2 pieces of bread. So I have to get multiple saucers of dip, and I probably had maybe like 5 or 6 saucers of dip, and then whatever bread that would amount to, like 12 pieces. I don't know. It was a fair amount, and then I go home and I have donuts waiting for me because before that I went out to Foster's Donuts. You know Foster's on Grand? Foster's Donuts, and for those of you who don't know, and they're in the area, Foster's and DK's, I believe, are the same owners. So DK's down the way by Subway. Yep. I believe they're the same owners, which is the reason why those donuts they seem very similar, you know? Right. But I got an apple fritter. Apple fritter by itself is like 3 donuts in one, man. I mean, that's so calorically dense, that apple fritter. And the apple fritter, a maple bar, a maple old fashioned, a couple of sprinkle donuts, donut holes. He put a cinnamon roll in there. I don't know why. I didn't. Oh, and a jelly filled. Oh. I ate all that, bro, except for the cinnamon roll.
Why didn't you fuck with the cinnamon roll?
I ate a piece of it, but I'm not really a cinnamon roll kind of guy. Like I'm a cinnamon roll kind of guy if it's Old West cinnamon rolls.
Okay.
But not from a donut place. No.
I love cinnamon roll. Like my protein shake's gonna be a cinnamon roll after we're done here.
Yeah, for sure. Well, that's a different story. You know, when you're calorically deprived and sweet deprived, a cinnamon roll, anything is gonna be good.
Fuck
you know?
Yeah, dude.
So yeah, I mean, but then after that, I mean, I had some Reese's and stuff, and then because I'm a Reese's fiend like you, dude. Yeah, and then blueberries, and I go to bed. People always ask me, why do you fuck with blueberries for to bed?
None of your fucking business. That's what I do.
I don't say that, but that is a part of the. Yes, that is true. It's none of your business. Like, but I for some reason I can't go to bed eating shit. I can't go to sleep while by ending my night eating shit food. Right. I have to eat something good, nutritious for me before I go to bed.
Something fresh.
Yeah. Yeah. And so I do that.
Cleanse the palate a little bit.
Sure. Whatever.
Yeah, whatever. You know. So yeah. I'll probably get a refeed this weekend, I'm guessing, at some point, because my weight will be pretty low. I mean, if I get up like over 240, he's probably obviously going to cut me off, but I don't see me being up over 240 at any time. Important being, I have to hit 220 in 9 weeks, and I'm like 230, 35 this morning. So.
Yeah, but this isn't a wrestling contest, dude. Weight doesn't really matter that much.
It does when I have to weigh in for classic physique. I have to make a certain weight.
But isn't your conditioning more important?
Of course.
Okay,
absolutely.
So all that matters is your conditioning is on point.
Yeah.
If you don't make it, this is what I never understood about coaches, and even my coach when I had a coach. Well, my coach when I had a coach, we didn't predicate everything on weight. It was about conditioning. Period. That was it. There's the only thing that matters. There's the only element that mattered. So if I wasn't lean enough, based on my weeks out, whatever I was, then he would adjust. But it was never. I mean, yes, we watched weight, but that was just one metric we watched over. Right. It wasn't the main metric.
And I'm pretty lean right now. Like, I didn't realize. I think I might have said this last week. Maybe I did. Maybe I didn't. I don't remember. I didn't realize when you get lower body fat, dude, you get cold all the time. I'm freezing constantly. I'm sitting probably around 10% body fat right now.
Okay.
And I am freezing constantly.
So it's different for you because you haven't been that body fat, and so your body doesn't know how to acclimate to the weather.
Yeah.
Because it's a new body fat that it's dealing with, and new body fat set point, and so all those things are different to you, but to somebody else that's maybe 8 or 9% or even 12%. Like it's not a problem if they've been that for a long time, you know, but you're just getting down to this. So that's why you're realizing all these things.
It's funny because I was talking to one of the girls in the gym who listens to our podcast. Don't remember her name, but she used to compete, and she goes, now you know why girls are cold all the time. And I'm like, oh, Makes sense.
That's all she said.
That's all. Well, she said she loves the pod, and she's like, I love your guys' podcast. I love your guys' banter. I see her every once in a while. She used to go to Kennedy, and now she goes to 24. I don't.
24.
I mean, 19. Sorry. I just don't remember her name. I'm so horrible with names. But yeah, good, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful woman. I just don't. She goes in the morning, mid morning. I run into her like when I'm leaving. She's usually kind of coming in. So yeah.
Well, shout out to the girl.
Yeah,
that
shout out.
Sledges doesn't remember the name to. We appreciate you.
Yep, she's probably gonna listen to this. She'll be like, yeah. I met her once, and then like I met her once, and we said hello to each other, and then I don't think we've ever exchanged like names. So it was just one of those like, oh, you're the guy that does the podcast, and I go, yeah,
with Justin.
Yeah. Right? Yeah, you're that guy. You do the Beauty and Brawn podcast. Hey, yeah, that's me. I love your pod. Cool. You know,
the podcast you do with Justin.
Oh, jeez. Don't forget about that. Don't go chasing waterfalls.
Why are you making a TLC? What's that word?
Reference?
Reference, yes.
Because you have to pee.
Oh, that didn't. While I drink LaCroix.
LaCroix, shout out LaCroix. Use hashtag Beauty and Brawn for no % off at all on LaCroix.
Man, Waterloo's got LaCroix beat, bro. Waterloo and. Well, I was starting to think of a drink that I would say Spindrift too, but Spindrift has some calories in it. Whereas if we're gonna be, if everything's equal, Waterloo beats LaCroix.
I don't know what Waterloo is. So.
It's the same thing as LaCroix. It's just it beats it in flavor.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
they got better flavor.
It just Costco, LaCroix. Just
yeah,
it. Yeah.
Costco's got, LaCroix's got kind of a nasty pull on the flavored water market.
Of course. Yeah. Oh, I didn't tell you, but I went to an ear, nose, and throat specialist.
I need to go there. I got to actually. It's weird you say it because I'm waiting for a reference to come into me, or a referral rather, to go to an ENT because I have a issue with my ear.
Bro, you need to fix that mic. It's like I'm watching it and I'm like, it's gonna fall in your lap.
Okay.
If you have never noticed, my mic doesn't do that because it just stays right where it needs to stay.
I gotta pee. Keep going. Come
anyway,
on,
why?
Because I need to pee. Keep going.
Okay. Well, I'll just talk slow and talk more. No, so I went to. By the way, did you know they have huge chairs at ENTs? You sit in this huge. I'll send you a picture. It's hilarious. Huge fucking chair.
Why is that?
Well, because usually people that usually go to ENTs are usually bigger people. Because they usually are the ones that have like a lot of the breathing problems and usually sleep apnea and so on and so forth.
Oh,
right?
I see.
Yeah. So, this was hilarious because this guy, he wants to do a sleep test on me, which is fine. Apparently, my tongue in the back is really big, so it's cutting off a little bit of my airway, right? And he's like, "Oh, we can fix that surgically," and I'm like, I don't know about that one. But then he goes, "Well, I got to check your nose." He goes, "Do you have problems breathing?" I go, "All the time. Like you can hear it. It's horrible." He tries to stick the camera up my nose, and it wouldn't even go up my nose.
Wow.
And he goes, "How many times you broke your nose?" And I'm like, "I lost count." And he's like, "Yeah, dude, your nose is fucked."
Did he say the word fucked?
No, but he said it in like in a way nicer term. And he's like, "I need to prescribe you some like allergy medicine because it's like the steps. But then what I'm going to do is I'm going to schedule you for surgery, and I'm going to drill new nostrils for you."
Oh no.
And I'm like,
is that an outpatient thing or you're gonna be under?
I want to say I go under for like maybe like an hour.
Oh, jeez.
And then they'll put like rebar, like they'll drill and then put rebar to open up my nasal passages so I can actually breathe. He's like, "We're not doing anything on the outside." He goes, "You don't care, right?" I was like, "Nah, man, my smashed nose is whatever." He goes, "Yeah, you're completely just blocked because your nose is just, the bone is just like, yeah." And he's like, "Yeah, it'll be like I'm going to restructure the inside of your nose so you can breathe." And I'm like, "I'm down."
When is
down.
that going to be?
I'm not 100% sure yet because we still need to do the sleep study. I need to schedule the sleep study. And once I schedule the sleep study, then we'll schedule the CT, do the CT, and then we'll get all the results and we'll set everything up then. So I'm guessing probably a couple months down the road.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to schedule it for after the competition, obviously.
Yeah.
So it'll probably be around like probably May, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Probably get it done. But I'll only be down for a week.
That's good.
Yeah. So, you know.
Let's wrap this thing up, man. Beauty and Prawn!
Okay, bye. I gotta be.